I'm Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today I thought I'd take an opportunity to go over a little bit about my upholstery cleaning machine and give you guys some ideas and some tips on a couple of different things. And so let's talk about that. This is a E600 made by Esteem, has a 3-stage vacuum motor, 150 psi pump, and an internal heater. It has tremendous suction for. I just use this for upholstery cleaning. I don't use it for carpet, so don't even get excited about saying it's too small, because it's perfect for upholstery. And that handle folds down and it fits into my van perfectly. It holds, well, 3 gallons in each side, although technically the recovery tank would only probably hold. No, is that right? Yes, that's right. Well, they call it a 12-gallon, I guess, but it's 6 per side. But the recovery tank, of course, you can't completely fill it because it'll shut off the valve. But anyway, really a good machine. I really like it. When I bought it, I did get it with this is the hose it comes with. And I guess I don't remember whether I did or not, but I guess I actually ordered it with the Sapphire Scientific tool, and I used that a little bit, and I quickly decided I didn't really like it much. I mean, it cleans fine. It's clumsy and awkward compared to what I normally use, and we'll get to that in a sec. But so I'll just show you a little bit about how I do things, and it'll all make sense in a minute. But one thing I want to point out is that I don't use that hose. I use that hose. This is a 1.5-inch hose, and it comes up to the Sapphire Scientific hose, which is also 1.5, and of course it's got the pressure line goes into the vacuum line here, which keeps it out of the way. But this means that this is it's a little awkward and clumsy, and this is look how long that is. It's, it doesn't bend, obviously. So that's and also for getting into tight areas and everything. These type of tools do have their drawbacks, I guess you could say. I'm not saying it's not a good tool. I know lots of guys like it, or the Mighty one, or the Rotovac one has one, I guess. They're similar to that, but I'll get to this one. So what I did is I switched out the 1.5-inch hose, and you can see that black hose laying there. That's a 1.25-inch hose. It's much more flexible, and it works perfectly well. You're not going to notice any drop in airflow or suction or whatever. This is only 15 feet or so. I guess this is a bit longer with this whip, with this thing, but you're not going to notice any difference, especially when I show you how you adjust your pressure to match your tool and the upholstery you're doing. And this tool here, I actually got from my local supplier. This is a PMF internal jet. It's 4.5 inches, what I think, actually. I always call it a 4-inch, but actually I think it's, that's 4.5 inches, isn't it? And the reason the tape is there is where the jet attaches in here, there's a little bit of a gap there, so I seal it off so I have maximum airflow through the aperture. Don't want to lose anything. No, don't want to lose no suck. Anyway, we'll get back to that. So now when I use this thing, I put cold water in it, and then I turn on the heater and get ready to clean. And within a few minutes, I've got as hot water as I can stand. It's a 200-degree internal heater, and it gets so hot that this tool will actually get really hot and a little bit uncomfortable to hold, as well as the pressure line right here, which I actually have some heat shrink over it to help, because it's very uncomfortable to hold at times. But anyway, I'm just going to show you a couple of things about this machine and using this tool here. So I'm going to turn it on and turn on the pump, and I'll turn it on to the normal flow that you would have it at, because normally you just plug in your pressure line and you've got 150 psi, and that's what you clean with. But I'll show you why that's probably not a good idea. So we'll turn it on, and hopefully you're going to be able to hear me okay. Okay, we're going to clear the line here. Okay, so we're running at full bore, and it's actually looking pretty good. There's virtually nothing past the aperture here. But what I have is I have a valve on here. I'll show you that in a sec. Needle valve. But you can put a valve on your machine without having a needle valve. You can just get one of these type of valves right here. That's just an on-off valve. And all you're going to do is you're going to put a male male quick connect on one side and a female on the other, or put a bit of a whip on there, actually better, and then your connection into your machine, kind of like what I've got there, because you don't want to just snap it into the your machine there, because you might end up putting too much torque accidentally on that fitting there, and you could snap it off. So don't do that. That's why I have that hose on there. So you can just put a shut-off valve. That'll work. It's not quite as fine tuning as the needle valve, but it'll work perfectly fine. I did that for a while, and then I went and got the needle valve and did what I did there. But okay, so now I get to the job, and I don't actually, as I say, I don't actually use this tool because I find it too clumsy. But if I want to adjust it, turn this all the way off, and then I'll turn it on. So now the valve is on. We're going to turn on the flow. Now that's only like one and a half turns. So it's nowhere near full flow, but so I can increase or decrease the amount of flow that's coming through here. And the reason why you want to do that is because, well, for one thing, you're going to use less solution. Another thing, you're going to be getting the fabric less wet, which is ideal for certain fabric. But you have the ability and the option to adjust depending on the fabric and the condition. So let's just do a little one across here. Yeah, looking good, eh? Okay, so let's go over to the PMS tool. And what I have to do is I have to switch a couple of things here. And then switch over to the other hose. Good thing these are my shop glasses. Okay, we're going to go over here, and this hooks onto here, and on the pressure line, there's a hole in the wall getting there. So we'll put this at full flow, and I'll show you what that looks like. Full bore. Oh, had my valve open. Whoops, try that again. It's spinning out a little bit, so what I normally do is I'll start off by having it completely off, and I'll turn on the flow, and now we'll turn on the valve. Usually 1 or 2 turns, Goes on my head where they belong. Anyway, this one works. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but even if I put my finger there, you can see that the water is hitting my finger. Okay, so now we're going to go over here. Turn this off for a sec. And I want to show, oh, I got to do this. Hang on. We'll go over here again. So what you're doing is you're adjusting the flow to match the tool, I guess. So I can see I'm getting pretty even, but I want to open this thing up. I want to check, because one thing that happens is you will get fibers caught in behind here, and you have to open it up once you want to clean it out. You have to do that with the Sapphire Scientific tool. Actually, I think I've cleaned that one out twice, and I hardly ever used it, actually. So let's cut it down here. We'll open it up. Show you how easy that is. So I'm going to take my tape off of here, because it's going to be interfering otherwise. And she just pull it off like that. And then I got my little tool. I do occasionally have to adjust this out in the field, so I carry this little device with me. The little hex tool, hex wrench, whatever. Anyway, here's the jet. Oh yeah, there's some, I can see some crap in there. So I'll just get a screwdriver and that will fit. And maybe this one. Nope, that won't fit. Need a flat tool like that. Yep. Okay, now the jet, which is right here, I'm going to just make sure that it's pumping nice and clean. No, you can sometimes get a little something stuck in the jet, and it interferes with the way it sprays. So I'm just going to double check that. See how nice and clean that is. Okay, good. I like that. Just gonna clean this out in here. I'm gonna do a bit more. Hang on. Still see a little bit of crap in there. I'm just flushing it out with the jet, actually. Yeah, I think we're clean. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition this. And you don't just sort of throw it in there. You gotta be a little bit precise about how you align the jet to match up with your vacuum slot correctly. It's not hard to do, but you just got to use your noggin a little bit. So I've actually got it sitting in there. Hang on a sec. I don't think it's quite right. You can adjust it with this as well. Oop, it just turned. There we go. I think I got it right. And we're going to tighten that. Obviously, you want it to be as straight as possible here. Let's see what happens. We'll go over here, try this over here. The way this tool works is that with the jet inside like that, when you put the tool down onto the fabric and pull the trigger, then the solution comes out and hits the fabric, pardon me, and is drawn back in. And you get no overspray at all. Much better control of the where the spray is going, and because you can adjust the flow with either a needle valve or a shut-off valve, whichever, you can adjust the pressure and the volume of the water coming out of here so that you don't overwet the fabric. And I normally get a dry time of about an hour or less most fabrics, and so I'm almost never running at 150 psi or 150, whatever the flow of that pump is. It's never at the full flow because you don't need it. You're cleaning fabric and it's, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or less thick. You don't need to be blowing that dirt and everything right through the fabric into the stuffing. I can clean most fabrics. I can clean the fabric like a cushion. I can put a paper towel into the cushion. I can clean the fabric, and then I can pick the paper towel out and it's dry. That's how you want to clean fabric. There's a tip for you guys. I can clean fabrics that most people can't clean because of that. It's just about using your head and doing it with some thinking. That's what it's all about. Anyway, I hope that helps you, gives you some ideas. And these tools, by the way, are pretty darn cheap. And notice there's one tool that looks similar. It's similar to this. To go at an internal jet, but the slot kind of goes like at a right angle here. This is the one you want, because this one you can get into, you know, in between the cushions and stuff. Yeah, this is the one you want. So look for this one. It's not that expensive. It's way cheaper than the Sapphire Scientific one. And, you know, the valves are cheap, and it's a good tool anyway. And you're not going to trust it. I don't expect. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.